into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy on my soul right now. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. I said, roll up, roll up, roll up. Yeah, come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight. Just as long as you're there in the brink of the light. I said, roll up, roll up, roll up. Yeah, come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've been waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Can I get an amen when the night ends? There's no winner when you're walking alone. Sliding down the last street as the day creeps. What you doing with nobody at home? Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden.
They come out with one back and three tight ends. Now a run with Peterson. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
For that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
Here we go.
Again, Peterson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
They run once more with McKinnon, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
That was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Back to throw now on first down. Buying time to his left. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they've got it here with a first down. They'll run for it with Peterson. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed. Because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run.
And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. It's their quarterback. And now out comes Minnesota. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Jarrell Freeman in on the stop.
Well, they certainly got dented with that first down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Peterson. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. Come the Vikings, they'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That one will go down as 33 yards of a 3rd down conversion. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
In the red zone this time. Here again is McKinnon. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield. And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Cordero Patterson. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And Diggs has it. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 24 that time. And it'll be a Minnesota first down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that play on any down.
Now McKinnon. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adrian Peterson. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball
leader, right?
to make a big play.
Yeah.
Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain. We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Red zone opportunity. Here's Peterson. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Vikings, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, Now for the Bears, they wanted desperately to finish at 500, but that won't happen, as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.
Kick off your week by installing your game plan. Kick off your week by installing your game plan.
admit that I used to draw portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance, stews in a bedroom, oozing a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie, unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get three dimensions stuffed in a two. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a two-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod, distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light, I left some will to spirit away. I let my fears materialize, I let my skills deteriorate. Haunted by the thought of what I should have been, continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. Used to paint, hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face, stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was blooming addiction, a miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute, drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil of linen. Joy to the poison, voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right. Or a torso hung on a warping spine in proportion. Reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush. Then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month. And the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury your life. I let my means of being dissolve. I let my person curl up and die. Eating up his innards and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings.
Show me what you like. Hey, I put money, I can match it for ya. I'm in this all white fit, looking like a brick and all them zippers on a jacket on ya. He got a thing for Latin. He wanna hear a little Spanish. I told him it ain't practice it. I'm about to fill you up with Spanish. Rock up with the click and I ain't looking like the side in this. I'm the opposite cause I'm the main event in boxing and it has the time been ticking. I've been out here playing my position. I'm about to get it now. Ain't no one about to block the hit. Cause someday come along. Someone tell me I'm somewhere doing alright. Somewhere, somebody that someone is somebody that one day will be the love of my life, but not tonight though. Hey, I'm only here for a minute. Bet you want a girl to keep it independent, and I know you gotta like a girl that's this appealing. Get you caught up in the moment, then I'll get you in your feelings. Tell your boys that you gon' meet them. Never tried no strong, so you gon' have some stories to tell.